Good morning. It's March 14th, Pi Day, 3/14. About minus 6 degrees Celsius. We're supposed to have big thaw coming. Like the long-range forecast is above freezing every day now, 2 weeks. So we'll lose most of our snow, I hope, especially because some of those temperatures are quite warm, like +7, plus there was even a +11 in the long-range forecast. But today it's not supposed to get above freezing again, so one more properly wintry walk here. And it's Monday, so that means we're going along the creek. Also means, because there has been thawing and freezing, I'll have to be very careful of the ice. Again, still, always. Got the external mic in. It seemed to work through the entire walk yesterday at the warmer temperatures, so I'm hopeful that will happen again today. Not actually any good way across here because of the piles of snow. I wanted to get on this sidewalk instead of going up. Well, no, maybe I'll go up to the dike like I normally do, but I'll walk down this side of the street. So the Kickstarter continues. It's just under $7,000 of a $12,000 goal. So I'm fairly confident it will fund, but, we want it to keep moving. It took a big jump yesterday with a couple of backers taking higher level items, including a poem from Jane Yolen, which is one of my exciting backers rewards. Jane Yolen is one of the most, she's a giant in the field. She's writing poetry for the anthology, and she will write a poem for anybody that backs at that level. You just provide her with some information, and she will create a poem just for you. I think I've got that at $200, because that seems reasonable to me. Anyway, somebody took that yesterday, and another one took a 2-book collection from an author, and there's all sorts of stuff like that. I keep wondering why this opportunity for chats with authors aren't going, which surprises me. Maybe I overpriced them. I don't know. If we get further in and they don't seem to be moving, maybe I will lower them. Or I could lower them for a short period of time, like book now, and they're only $100. I don't know. Anyway, that's all in aid of my anthology, Shapers of Worlds Volume 3, which will feature guests of my podcast, or third-year guests of my podcast, where I talk to other science fiction and fantasy authors about the creative process. So these are all science fiction and fantasy authors, science fiction and fantasy stories, and this is the third anthology I've kickstarted. Volume 1 in 2020, just as the pandemic was starting. Volume 2 last year, and now Volume 3. And everybody's focus is on Ukraine and things like that. But still, so far so good. I seem to have lots of backers coming in, but they're going for lower amounts, which, is interesting. Don't know if that reflects inflationary concerns or what. Or it's just coincidence. Correlation does not prove causation, as they say. I had a new episode of the podcast yesterday featuring Marshall Ryan Maresca, which you can find if you go looking for it at theworldshapers.com. He's a fellow Daw Books author. I met him at, as I mentioned yesterday, at World Fantasy Convention in Los Angeles in 2019, kind of the last convention I've been to. However, I do intend to have a booth actually, at Sask Expo in Saskatchewan at the end of April. That's coming back, so currently planning to be there. And then right after that, I'm going to be at the Saskatchewan Libraries Association annual meeting, which is just at the Hotel Saskatchewan, which I walk to on a regular basis. Introduce Shadowpaw Press and all the new titles I'm planning to bring out to the librarians so they know I exist and are looking for my books as they are published. Ooh. Okay. Along the dike. I'll take a fairly normal creek walk today, but I think I will go down this side of the dike first and then walk back going the other way. Very gray day. I got tons of editing stuff to do too. It's just a million things I'm working on kind of simultaneously, so. Again, what I keep putting off is my own writing because I'm doing so much editing and stuff, and I really should make space for it every day. Again, I was for a bit and then I let it slip. But it's a new week, so perhaps this week I will do better on working on Changers, which is the YA novel I'm writing. I'm thinking of running a Kickstarter after this one, just for my own work, and see if I could get $3,000 or so to write The Masks of Agrima book 4 as E.C. Blake. I think that's the one I would start with. I'd also like to carry on the Worldshapers series, so I might try doing that one as well. But I think Masks was my most popular book, my best-selling book by E.C. Blake, first book in the Masks of Agrima trilogy. But the trilogy was always set up so that it could continue on as a series, like a second trilogy, probably. And that book's all planned out, like the next book, far enough. I'd have to reread the first 3 to write it, but I just don't know. It might fail. I might put it up and nobody wants it. Well, that would tell me something too. It'd be disappointing, but not the end of the world. We'll stay on this side of the river today, along the dike here. For the moment, it's still covered in hard-packed snow. By next Monday, if the temperatures come that they're talking about, it could be dirt showing up here. It'll be a while before the creek is not frozen. Looks like we'll be getting like daytime melting and then freezing at night, which makes for ice, of course. Also the good old freeze-thaw cycle that breaks up roads and creates potholes will be in full force. This is the, I don't know what it's formally called. I think of it as the bowl. This is where kids come to toboggan. That snow must be pure ice by now, just about. Probably a very fast trip down there. But they're in school, not out here doing this. Or will be in school shortly. Haven't seen anybody walking a dog yet. That's unusual by this point in the walk. There's usually somebody on the dike, but not today. If anybody's watching, say hi. So far, I don't actually see a sign that anybody's watching, but forgot to turn off the Wi-Fi as I left the house, so there would have been a dead spot there for a few steps. That always happens as it hands off to the cell network. I try to remember to turn off the Wi-Fi before I leave the house for that reason, but I didn't this morning. I might walk downtown for lunch today, but I won't live stream that if I do. Depends on how badly I want to get out of the house. Also, as I said, been losing weight, so all the walking has helped there quite a bit. I'm probably down now 15 pounds since Christmas. My goal is to get to the point where people look at you and say, "Are you sick?" Because especially when you're my age, if you lose weight, people start to worry about your health. You kind of go through, "Oh, you're looking good," to "Are you okay?" There's kind of a fine line there. Especially people who haven't seen you for a while, so they see you and you're like 25 pounds lighter and they think, "Oh no, is he sick?" I'm not sick. Aging, but not sick. But we're all aging. Kind of the only alternative to not being alive at all. So generally speaking, it's a good thing. So you can't go backwards in time and get younger. Would we if we could? There are lots of stories along that line. Freaky Friday is kind of like that. The original one with Jodie Foster. I've never seen the one with, what's her name? Lindsay somebody? Lindsay Lohan? Is that her name? Then there was Big, with Tom Hanks. Well, that's a little different. That's really a young person in an older person's body. But anyway, there have been stories of going back to like, when you're a teenager. And what I do. Probably make some different decisions over the years. Might have become an engineer. Would probably still be writing, but I might have gone into something. I went into journalism because it involved writing. But I loved science and stuff too. But I made choices early on that precluded that. I think I could have been an engineer. I was always good at math and science. If I'd been an engineer, I'd be making more money. But I might not be married to my wife, the engineer, so we might never have met because I wouldn't have ended up in the same place I ended up. So we wouldn't have our wonderful daughter. So, whenever you think about those things, it's like kind of selfish, really. Anyway, can't do it. We are all moving forward in time. One step at a time. Dear Savior. It's an old hymn. Then there was the old TV show, One Day at a Time. This is it. Straight ahead, rest assured, you can get through it all. See, I still remember that much of the theme song. So Keep on doing what you do, and some way you'll muddle through, one day at a time. Why are TV jingles so get ingrained in your head? I wonder. I haven't seen that show in, well, when was it on? 70s? Bobby Bertinelli, Mackenzie Phillips, and what was the mother's name? Bonnie something. The actress. I think it was Bonnie something. And don't get me started on the Gilligan's Island theme song. Everybody knows that one. I'm one of the few people that actually have the words memorized to the Star Trek theme song, because there were words. They had to have them for some copyright reason. Something like that. So they're never sung in the show, but they do exist. Beyond the rim of the starlight, my true love is wandering in starflight. I know he'll find in star-clustered reaches love, strange love, a star woman teach us. Sorry, I'm a little hoarse this time of morning. I know his journey ends never, his Star Trek will go on forever. I hope that as he wanders that endless sea, he remembers me. There you go. Pretty close. I may have made up a word or two over the years because I haven't checked the lyrics in a very long time, but that's pretty darn close. You can see why they weren't used. There's the Neo-Rockwell Center. Has an art gallery in there and rooms for doing art. Art classes are held in there. Used to have a dark room. I wonder if they still do. Does anybody still remember how to develop film? Is that a really dying art or craft? I think I could still do it. Might have to double check the times, but I think it was a minute and a half developer, 30 seconds stop bath, and then 5 minutes in fixer. That might be for paper though, and not for the film. I actually still have, somewhere I have an enlarger that I bought from the Weyburn Review when I left, the old enlarger, because they had a new one. Thinking I would, do some home photography, and I did some. In my apartment in Weyburn, I remember I had a bathroom that was completely windowless, so it would make a good dark room. And I remember developing film in there. But I don't think I ever did it after I moved to Regina. And now, of course, you take a picture with your iPhone. And if you want it to be black and white, you make it black and white. All that noise is a front-end loader over there clearing snow. Snow's looking dirty because as it melts, of course, the dirt doesn't melt, so it becomes more visible. Also speeds the melting because it soaks up more energy from the sun. Beep, 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 beep. crunch, 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 crunch. Let's see what the sidewalk looks here on this side. Or if I want to walk down the other side. Should be okay. There hasn't been any fresh snow to speak of for a while, so at the very least it'll be beaten down. Even if it's not exactly perfectly cleared. We're very close to the 1-year anniversary of these walks. I'd have to check. I have a feeling it was March 19th. It's kind of the first official walking in Regina video. But I'd have to go back and look. Or you can if you want. It's a Walking in Regina playlist on my YouTube channel. Go back to the very beginning. You can watch the seasons change. As we're about to witness again. As spring comes barreling down upon us, only a week until the first official day of spring, so it should be melting, theoretically. Often isn't, but perhaps this year. Looks like it's going to start. Doesn't mean we won't get a big snow dump in April. In fact, it's quite likely we'll get a big snowfall in April. Or even May, but that's always the worst, because the snow will melt and you think you're done with it and you're getting used to the whole spring thing, and then you get another cold blast and dump of snow. But maybe not. Maybe this year it'll just melt and that'll be it. Pretty good snow cover, which is good for farmers. Runoff and all that stuff. Hopefully it doesn't melt really fast. And because then it has more time to soak into the ground as it melts. It was quite dry last summer, so good snow cover this winter was important and valuable. I used to be more plugged into that stuff when I worked at the Weyburn Review, because, you know, had to write agricultural stories. And Weyburn is very much a farming supply community. Some oil and gas, some manufacturing, but largely it serves the surrounding farm area. Ooh, this is nasty. Frozen slush. At least it's rough, but it's still ice. I think my external mic has kept working so far. I haven't seen a message otherwise. So it must be something to do with temperature. Unless Sherman Park. Oh, here's our first dog walker. You can actually see this slope here, which gets sun. It's already starting to melt down to the dirt and the grass. So sunward facing slopes go quickly. Dirt fields go quickly because of the dark soil. It's a jogger. Sounds like she's wearing spikes against the ice. And that's Saskatchewan Express directly ahead of us, Performing Arts School and Company. Tours the province during the summers. Song stuck in my head now is the Star Trek theme. That's not too surprising since I sang it a few minutes ago. These things look so permanent, these walls of snow and ice, but then of course they're gone in no time at all once the temperature rises. And there's a lot of dirt in the, this is ice. Kind of squishy ice, but still ice. And there's a lot of dirt on the streets, so there'll be a big street sweeping campaign at some point. April is terrible for us contact wearers because there's so much dirt in the streets, and then the wind usually blows quite a bit in April, and you get a lot of grit blowing around, and that always finds its way into your contacts. Alright, so in a minute we'll be walking down by the creek as we turn the corner here, and we'll be headed home now. This is Pasco Street. Last time we walked over there. Not today. Some grass patches popping up here and there from the warmth we've already had. So they'll go quickly once the Hi Hastings, happy Pi Day to you too. Could be even more specific depending on how many decimal places you want to go. I only know it to 4, 3.1419, which, you know, if you went 3.14 is March 14th, 19 is 7 p.m. So the exact pi moment would come sometime after that. Except you could never pin it down because pi goes on forever, as far as we know. You'd always be off just a little bit. There's Wascana Creek. Oof. What's the criteria for passing KYC? I don't know what that means. KYC? I thought it was Kentucky Fried Chicken, but that's KFC. And there's no KFC around here. So I don't know what KYC is off the top of my head. Sounds like an airport code. I don't know where it would be. Kansas City, maybe. Boy, they've really plowed this wide. The actual path is quite narrow. Trying to find the most beaten down part of the path. I guess it's here in the middle. Not a lot of contrast to see variations in the snow with the gray sky. front end loader and snowplow beeping going on over there somewhere. Once I get home, it's some more Kickstarter stuff to do to support the Kickstarter, which is at tinyurl.com/shapersofworlds3, numeral 3, if you want to check it out. And then into editing. It'll be interesting to compare next week's walk along here with this week's, see how much melting happened over the next week. None today, apparently. They had said +2, but now they're saying -2. Unexpected ridge of snow. There's the whole map of the whole pathway. It goes on for kilometers from one corner of the city to the other. At least part of it, maybe all of it, is part of the Trans-Canada Trail, which is a hiking trail right across the country. Not going to do that. It's a big country. We're the second largest country on this planet Earth. And if Russia keeps on shrinking, someday we'll be first, as long as we keep Quebec. Little arrogant worms number there. USA has tanks, Switzerland has banks. They can keep them, thanks. They just don't amount, because when you get down to it, it's really nothing to it. It isn't what you do with it, it's the size that counts. Our mountains are rather bumpy, our prairies are not. The rest is, no, our mountains are kind of pointy, our prairies are not. The rest is kind of bumpy. Man, do we got a lot. We got a lot of land. We got a whole lot of land. And to be proud and shout something out loud. Anyway, I don't quite remember all the words, but not bad. Haven't heard it in years. Arrogant worms are touring again. Haven't seen them in years either. We used to go whenever they came to Regina. Once left a symphony orchestra concert to go hear the Arrogant Worms at the Blarney Stone, an Irish pub. Something else now. And got Guinness spilled all over my suit jacket by a clumsy waitress. So I remember that concert really well. And what you do with it. Now that song's stuck in my head. Okay, the traditional look at the creek. That's looking east. That's looking west. Very gray, black and white day, brown and white. Ice. Almost got me. Hear pigeons cooing under the bridge. You often do. Oof. Again, I couldn't see that change in elevation because of the flat light. Okay, back to the footbridge and then home, sweet home. The other footbridge. I'm actually on the wrong side of the creek now, so I have to cross it again. Back to Elphinstone Street. I hear sirens and there's no one there. I think that beeping's all coming from that same front end loader I pointed out over by the Neopalqua. Beeping's been following me. That's what it feels like. A lot of sirens. Somebody's having a bad day. Comes another dog walker. Morning. Some people say good morning, some don't. You're supposed to press that button, but they don't do much to make it easy to get to. So in general, we'll just take our chances. Do a visual. So we move into Kiwanis Park here. I see a long note. I'm not sure I can read it. Preparing a mixed berry pie later today. North Alabama, the inch of snow we got Friday has melted. The sun is out, and it is warmer than here. Light fog. Well, that's nice for you. This will all be gone hopefully in a week or two, although as I said, we'll probably get a refreshing snow at some point. This could all disappear and it'll look like this again in a month, depending on what the weather does. But it is supposed to melt over the next 10 days, 14 days even, which should take care of the snow, most of it. Maybe not in some shaded areas where there's lots piled, but we'll find out. You can watch it happen as I walk through the changing weather of Regina. And the ballparks will be usable again. I even see somebody playing softball, slow pitch. I wanted to say soft pitch and slow ball. Never been good at that. I think it's because I have lousy depth perception. I blame my poor eyesight in general, but I can't hit a slow pitch. And I can't catch a fly ball reliably, so put those together and nobody really wants you on their team. Not exactly a fast runner, never have been, certainly not now, so I'm unlikely to take up softball as a retirement age activity. I'm not quite retirement age unless we were Freedom 55, but getting there. Looking forward to getting Canada Pension to subsidize my riding habit. I won't stop riding, but at least I'll get a few $100s every month reliably, which is always good. Hopefully Shadowpaw Press actually makes some money at some point. That would be cool. And the picnic tables will be in use again. And the waterfall will reappear in Waterfall Park over here. Sometime in May, probably. Morning. Third dog of the day. Right over there will be a waterfall again. At least Canada's Really Big song has bumped the Star Trek theme out of my head. Of course, my favorite Arrogant Worm song is The Last Saskatchewan Pirate, which you can see me singing on my YouTube channel in the Underbelly, in the Yellow Belly pub in St. John's, Newfoundland, when we were there in the fall for a very great trip, hosted by Alan Doyle, the former lead singer of Great Big Sea, and he was present when I was singing that, which was kind of cool too. So we were at the end of a pub crawl. When will the snow go? It's supposed to start melting reliably every day starting tomorrow. It's the long range forecast. So I'm expecting, if the long range forecast is accurate, within about 2 weeks it'll largely be gone. it goes slow and then it goes fast is what it feels like. Because to begin with, when you still have a deep layer of it, even a warm day doesn't melt that much. But once bare ground starts to appear, then it spreads out from there because it gets more warmth from the sun. So yeah, it's supposed to be a week from Wednesday. It's supposed to be plus 11, which is, I think, 51 Fahrenheit, more or less. It'll be in the high 30s and into the 40s for the 2 weeks, for sure. For sure, if the long-range forecast is accurate. However, once you get past about 5 days, it's a guess, because just last week I was talking about how the long-range forecast said it wouldn't be above freezing through the first day of spring, and now they're saying it will be quite a bit above freezing, so what do they know? Anyway, it'll be gone soon enough. I think Regina's friendly. That's the question. You know, some people are friendly, some aren't, but in general I think it's a fairly welcoming place. All right, looking west, Wascana Creek. Looking right on Wascana Creek. I walked along the dike to start with, so maybe I'll go down the stairs and walk down here to go back. Big new house was being built last year when I started walking, and now it seems to be done. I don't think their landscaping's done, but I think people are living in the house, so yeah. That looks icy. I think I'll stay on the road here for a little bit further. Been quite a few new houses built down in this old neighborhood, so that's certainly one of the biggest. Takes up 2 lots, I would say. Means their taxes are high. I think our lot is 1.5. Our house was built in 1926, so it's coming up on 100 years old, so that's actually the vintage of the houses around here, the older ones. We should have a big celebration in 2026 when the house turns 100. The house will turn 100 and I'll turn 67. Hi in Vancouver. Well, we're in a residential area on a winter day. People are all at work or at school. There's just no reason for there to be people around here very much. And it's a small city. It's only 230,000, I think. That's the main reason. It's just not a very big city. So if you want to see a crowd, you have to wait for a football game. But these residential areas are quiet no matter what time of the year it is, and on a winter day especially, fewer people are going to be out walking. And these roads in this neighborhood don't go anywhere. They get cut off by the creek behind me and to my left. So this is very much a quiet little residential, not exactly a cul-de-sac, but effectively a big cul-de-sac. I don't think it's old. And I'm not 67 yet. I'm 62. Oof. Now there's an uncleared sidewalk. This whole side is bad. Oh. Slipped off into the deeper snow there. Snowman. It was really good snowman weather because it was melting on Saturday. Good to see you too, Imran. Or not see you, but see the words you have typed on my screen. It's not quite the same as seeing you, but allow me to acknowledge your existence at least. This is a nice house. Pretty new. Those ones there were built in 1912 or 14, so they're quite old. Oh, my cord was getting... Better get across the street because someone's coming. It's an awkward intersection. There, see? A welcoming sign. I've been in that house, know the people that live there. Why is this getting so wobbly? The gimbal keeps wobbling. It's not low on power, so I don't know what that's all about. I think I caught the cord to the mic and confused it. We'll go across and stop at our traditional stop sign here at another block. Be the end of this walk today. Here comes another dog and owner. If you see a dog by itself, that's something's gone wrong. Here's the aforementioned stop sign, so thank you for walking with me today. I expect to be more regular in my walking now that the weather's warming up, and but we'll see. I'm also very busy with the Kickstarter, which you can find at tinyurl.com/Shapers of Worlds 3, numeral 3, the anthology I'm kickstarting of science fiction and fantasy featuring authors who are guests on my podcast, The Worldshapers. www.theworldshapers.com. There, that's all my advertising. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.